We're going to get into this video, 2012 Grand Caravan. Let's get into the diag. It's a no crank, no start. We'll get into the diag here, and then I have a message for you guys at the end about this whole workman's comp thing that people are blowing out of proportion. So stay around to the message at the end. If you've been on the channel for a while, you know what I'm talking about and you're concerned, or you've made comments about workman's comp, you'll want to stay at the end because I'm going to address that. But in the meantime, at least get through the diag video if you don't want to stay.
This is a 2012 Grand Caravan, and it came in for a no start condition. Nothing? Try it again. It's gonna need a starter as well. Turn it off. Alright, what's going on is there's two things going on with this vehicle at one time. I was asked to come out and help diagnose a couple vehicles that were problem vehicles, and my buddy knows that I've been stuck at home and bored, as you guys know, and I'm trying to get out of the house more, and I'm considering possibly taking a job here. So he wants me to become more familiar with everybody, hang out with him and stuff during the day. So this vehicle came in. There's a couple American vehicles that came in that they're not familiar with, and what I ended up doing is this is a 2012 Grand Caravan, right? And whenever you would go to hook the battery up, the battery cable would start getting hot and would start smoking and sizzling real bad. Well, there's only two components in the system that could cause something that bad to happen that viciously right away. That would be the starter or the alternator. Well, we took a shot in the dark and wanted to do process of elimination, one of the two, or a major short. So I went to the alternator here, and I unhooked the positive cable going to the alternator and the main connector going to it, hooked the ground back up, and then now we got no more sizzle. And we are able to hook it up without the wires and stuff getting hot, nothing failing there. Okay, go ahead. Shut it off. The flywheel scraping something. So it's actually something more than that. It's the flywheel scraping something. After looking at it and diagnosing it, you know, here helping out at the shop, I got Eddie down inside this thing and had him put a new alternator down in there. And now it no longer is doing what it was doing before. And the sound was rock in the flywheel. So that alternator was grounded out so bad that, or internally shorted, that with the power lead being hooked up to it, it was literally just frying those cables, just glowing.
Now, I don't know if it's the right way or not, but this is how I had Eddie take it off. I had him pull the fender liner out of the passenger side, pull the wheel off of it, put it on a jack stand, take the engine belt off of it. There's two 13mm bolts that go through the bottom of the AC compressor, and then there's two 13mm nuts on two studs at the top of the AC compressor. I had him pull the two bolts out of the bottom, drop them on the ground, pull the two nuts out, drop them on the ground, take an 8mm or an E8 Torx E8 female Torx socket, pull the studs out on the AC compressor, drop it down, and then there was one nut on the pulley side of the AC compressor, and then there was two bolts around the corner that went through the top of the alternator. pulled the two bolts out, pulled the nut out, and slid the alternator out and dropped it down. You don't have to evacuate the AC system to do this, and then slide the new one in. Back together you go, no problem. Put your belt and stuff back on, start the vehicle up.
To the point, well, not glowing, but so hot that you can already start to see smoke come off of them because of what was going on with that alternator. That's how bad it was. But it's a Diag and a repair. One of the things that we noticed, Eddie, say hi.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
One of the things that we noticed when we went out there is this alternator was grounded out internally so bad that it was literally drawing so much power from the system, and it would not even let the vehicle crank over at all. And it was smoking when you went to go put the terminals back on the battery and stuff, and it was sizzling. So I reached up there and took my 13mm ratchet wrench and popped the main lead off that comes from the battery over, and then you stuck the terminal back on, and it didn't do any of that sizzling stuff anymore. Just your normal little sparks, nothing too crazy, but that sizzling sound went away, and then the cable stopped overheating, and then started the vehicle up several times after that. It was making like a screeching sound, but pulling the AC compressor off and then pulling the alternator off, kind of watching him do everything, and him walking through, or him going through and repairing it all, I noticed that there was like some rust and debris and stuff in that flywheel area, and I think starting it over and over and over again kind of knocked out whatever was in there and then stopped making that screeching sound. And we're good. Vehicle's repaired. The system, every single component on, including trying to charge a dead battery, it would still stay above 13, well above 13 volts, with like the rear defrost on, the blower on, the battery, the radio on, the defrost or the fan speed all the way up as high as you can go, and having the high beams on all at the same time. It was still able to sustain charging right at 13.1, 13.2 volts. Turn it all off and it stabilizes while still trying to charge this battery right at about 13.7, 13.8. No battery light, no nothing, everything functioning completely fine. It's good to go. Y'all be blessed. Take care.
Good morning, guys. There were a few people that left a couple comments yesterday on yesterday's video, and some of those comments were, are you supposed to be showing that you're doing videos while you're on Workman's Comp? Yeah, I'm not getting paid. Let me explain something to you on how Workman's Comp works. And I have an attorney too. He watches the video. He's a subscriber here on the channel. Whenever your workplace injury affects other ways that you make money, the company is also eligible for any money that you lose outside of your workplace. So in order for me not to make this into a bigger fiasco than what it already is, my buddy has entertained me with a job offer. But in the meantime, before I accept this job offer, he has allowed me to continue to recover on Workman's Comp under the doctor's restrictions for another 3 weeks. And he has allowed me to not accept the job right now while helping him out and hanging out with him, because I told him I'm losing my mind. And I said, look, I don't want to accept any job offers right now until the Workman's Comp thing has worked all the way through. I'm done with physical therapy and stuff like that. And then I will officially be accepting a job offer. I don't know where it's going to be. But in the meantime, if you don't mind, you needed a lot of help with the American vehicle stuff here, diagnosing. You've not done a lot of that, and some of the European stuff. I could make video content here and make up on my side of YouTube where I was actually losing quite a bit. And if you allow me to do that, I give you a free diag in the process. And then when we get into that situation where we got to look at job offers, I will consider you probably before anybody else. But in the meantime, let me help you out. I'll diagnose some vehicles. I'll give some guidance to your young guys. I'll feel it out and see how I fit here in the company and stuff. And you're helping me out with the YouTube channel. I'm helping you out with diagnosing it. And I'm training some of your guys for free. So it's a good, happy relationship. So that's what we're doing here, because technically the company could be on the hook for any other money that I lose because I'm not able to obtain that content anymore because of the situation that happened at work. Already been down that road legally. Don't need any of your guys' advice on that. Stay in your lane. I'll stay in mine. I'll keep putting out the content, and you keep enjoying. Keep all that other shenanigans stuff to yourself. And let's think about this. If you guys really felt like there would be an issue with me making videos by not physically really doing anything, operating still within my doctor's restrictions, trying to keep the YouTube content up because that would be double income that I would lose, why would you say anything on a public platform to say, oh, they're watching you, what are you doing? This, why would you even bring that up to surface, to even make a big deal out of it? Common sense is a motherfucker, and some of you must not have it. Anyway, today's video is on a 2012 Chrysler Grand Caravan, where the alternator and the power cables and the starting system, whatever, was just, it was going haywire, and the battery was literally smoking.